In Teapot episode 24, we finally got to see what Pencil was getting up to in the past, which we later found was a simulation, and discovered that she'd been replaying her life over and over again for 3,000 times! 3,000 plus times for her to realize she was the problem and pushing everyone away. Without a doubt, this episode was my absolute favorite so far in Teapot, but after watching there was a burning question in the back of my head. How long, in her time, was Pencil in that simulation resetting over and over again? Well, in this video I plan to answer that question. This is, of course, in real in-universe time, including the gaps between episodes, and so is being canon with the exception of a few episodes has been the rule for a while now, up until she reset for every reset. This, of course, means I will not be including the BFDIA hiatus, since post-hiatus BFDIA still canonically takes place in 2015-2016, before IDFB. Thank God, because this video would have been impossible otherwise. In Teapot 24, we find out that Pencil is reset a total of at least 3,830 times, thanks to this number we see during the music video segment, and assuming the 10 scenes we see after are all their own respective resets. Each reset begins right at the start of BFDI's first season on January 1st, 2010, and the latest we see, not including what might be future episodes from unknown seasons during the second chorus, is what I'm going to assume is Teapot 21, Insectophobe's Nightmare 6. Which released on December 13th, 2025 in Universe. That means, at maximum, Pencil spent 15 years, 11 months, and 12 days during a single reset. Yikes, so that's a really long amount of time, but of course, Pencil has reset 3,829 times more than this. This is where the tricky part begins, because we only actually see her reset 26 times, once being in Teapot 23 and the rest being in Teapot 24. That's still a ton of resets we don't see, and that leaves a lot of room for uncertainty. So first, let's work with what we do know. Trying to determine what episodes all these resets happened in is a bit tricky, as only a handful actually show anything that could indicate the episode. So let's break down how long these resets were first. The first reset we see is in Teapot 23, and happens to be right at the end of the beginning of BFDI 1, meaning she didn't even make a day into this reset, which I'm just going to assume was her first. Since this is such a short amount of time, I'm not even going to include it into the total. This might sound strange, but seeing what sorts of numbers we're going to be getting later in this video, you'll very quickly understand my reason for this. The next reset we see is at the very beginning of BFDIA 1, which released on June 30th, 2012, meaning this particular reset was 2 years, 5 months, and 29 days long. The next reset she does is during IDFB 1, making that reset 6 years and 8 months. Next resets we know the episode for See Happen, and in BFDIA 5D, 3 years, 6 months, 1 day, BFDI 8, 3 years, 10 months, 12 days, BFB 1, 7 years, 10 months, 2 days, and Teapot 11, which we only see super briefly, 14 years, 5 months, and 13 days. Adding all these together, we get 35 years, 11 months, and 25 days. Longer than Carrie and Michael Hong have even been alive. But, of course, this was only 26 out of the 3,830 resets. How are we going to figure out the rest? Well, out of all the resets we see, just going off the art style, seeing characters and other context clues, 4 are from BFDI, 11 are from BFDIA, 1 is from IDFB, 5 are from BFB, and 5 are from Teapot. Since most of these are from BFDIA, let's start with Scenario 1. Scenario 1. Pencil reset the most during BFDIA. Let's determine the maximum and minimum amounts of time she spent in the simulation. Assuming Pencil rage quit 3,804 times on BFDI 1, that means she made it to June 29th, 2012, 3,804 times, which adding our 34 years we've already calculated leaves us with a whopping 9,518 years, 11 months, and 5 days of BFDI for Pencil. This is, of course, absolutely nothing compared to the maximum scenario, where she reset 3,804 times at the very end of BFDIA on May 18th, 2017, which would have instead taken 24,307 years, 7 months, and 16 days instead. To put that in perspective, if you were to watch Pencil's version of BFDI in the simulation in real time, while you watched, Betelgeuse would have likely gone supernova and Yellowstone would have likely erupted. But we're not done, so it's on to Scenario 2. Pencil reset the most during BFB. So here goes the same math once again. For a minimum amount of time in the simulation in this scenario, assuming that Pencil really got that mad at her team's awful strategy episode and reset there the most, we'll end up with 29,837 years, 11 months, and 17 days. And in our maximum scenario, 42,896 years, 7 months, and 14 days. Oh no. Yeah, we're getting up there, alright. And now it's for our last scenario. Pencil reset the most at the latest we see her into the series during a simulation. Teapot 21, Insectophobes Nightmare 6. As we established earlier, it would have taken Pencil 15 years just to get to this point in the timeline once. So, what ungodly amount of time are we going to get now? Well, the answer is 60,707 years, 8 months, and 5 days. There's a good chance that by the time you're done watching this version of BFDI, the Niagara Falls will have completely eroded away, and a day on Earth will be a whole second longer. All the languages of modern day will have evolved until they've become unrecognizable. No city on the planet will have the same buildings they do today, and almost every landmark and monument mankind has ever made will have been lost to the sands of time. And Pencil is still resetting. So, in conclusion, to say the least, Pencil really needed that hug. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.